Welcome back, students. My name is Josh, and welcome back to KIP, where knowledge is power. Today we are going to be looking at linear functions, or equations, however you would like to put them. Now, what are linear functions and equations? Now, this may be a different topic that you've never seen before, and it can seem very, very complicated at first, but trust me, it's a lot easier than you think once you get to know the basics. So today, we're going to just be doing the introduction to this unit. Now, a linear equation is represented on a Cartesian plane. Now, a Cartesian plane, as you may know, is something that we like to use in graphing. All right, so we have our x-axis down here, which is our horizontal axis, right? And then we have our vertical axis, which is our y. We use little arrows at the end of our lines to show that y and x here are continuous. Our origin here is 0, and here we can say that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And the same with here. Say -1, -2, -3, -4, -5. Now, what a linear function or equation looks like, it's actually just a straight line. That's what linear stands for. So if we were to draw a straight line here, going through our graph, and again, we draw little arrows on the end of our graphs to show that this line is continuous, meaning it does not end in either its negative direction and its positive direction. This right here represents a certain equation that we can use for various different scenarios in our day-to-day lives, which we will be looking at in the future. But at the moment, that red line there represents a linear function. When working with linear functions, we use this one equation that is known in all of math. And it is y is equal to mx plus b. Now, that may look a little confusing, but like I said, trust me, it's a lot easier than you think. Don't overthink it. Now, what this represents here, if we look closely to this, all right, our y here, our y represents every y value over here. All right, so y is any input value on the y-axis. So any number on the y-axis. Same thing for x. It's going to be the exact thing on the axis. So there we go. We already got this guy and this guy done here. Now, you may be wondering, what does m and b represent? So our m represents something we like to call slope. Now you're wondering, well, is the slope also known as rate of change? What does that mean? Now, if we were to look at this red line that we just drew, if we were to take 2 points that intersect and this, all right, what we're looking at is we're looking at the rate this line increased by each x value. So, for example, let's say 1 right here. Let's say that dot there is on 1, and this right here is on 2.5. All right, so we can see that there's different values for each x value here. So what we're looking at is how much is the line increasing per each x value. All right, again, it may seem a little confusing, but trust me, it's not that hard. So if we were to look at this right here, the change in between those two, we would be able to find our rate of change, or what we just call slope. Now, b, I like to say, is probably the easiest one besides x and y. b here represents something we like to call the y-intercept. The b is also known as the y-intercept. could you guess what the y-intercept stands for? Pause the video and give it some thought. Okay, have you guessed yet? It's probably something you may have expected or maybe not expected. But it's literally what it's named. Where does the line intersect the y-axis? So our y-intercept is this point right over here for our specific line. It's the exact point on the y-axis that this line intersects. So, again, what is the y-intercept? The y-intercept is where the line slash function that we are looking at intersects the y-axis. All right, the y-axis. So far, so good. Again, if my videos are helping you and they're helping you learn and you're understanding the concepts, please feel free to drop a like and subscribe to my channel so I can continue making these educational videos. If you have any questions or if there are any topics that you would like to see from me, please write them down in the comment section below and I would love to make a video on whatever you may need help with. Now, back to linear functions, all right? So as you can see, this is the basics. This is what you need to know right here for linear equations. Obviously, there are a lot of other things that are going to be introduced and other different things that we are going to need when it comes to knowing linear functions, like how to calculate the slope when we're only given 2 points, or how to graph a line when we're given the equation. Now, let's do a little bit of a recap, all right? We represent linear functions by this equation over here, which is y equals mx plus b. A linear function is a straight line that represents an equation. The y in our y equals mx plus b equation represents any number on the y-axis. The x in our equation represents any number on the x-axis. Now, our slope represents the rate of change or how much our line is increasing by per each x value. And our b represents our y-intercept, which is where our line intersects with the y-axis. All right? Perfect. Now, how about we do a practice problem together, just to show you what it's like. Let's say we have the equation y is equal to 2x plus 1. All right? And we were asked to graph this. Now, it's pretty easy. There's 2 ways we can go around to do this. So, we're going to draw our Cartesian plane here. All right. Again, we draw arrows on the end of our lines to show that these lines are continuous.